Hello, everyone. How's it going? How are you? Oh, I gotta mute myself before I hear it. We can't have that. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. It's been a few days. I gotta tell you a story before we get started. I'm in Ohio. I made a very poor business decision, but a fantastic decision for my personal health and mental health and well-being. I decided Sunday night at about 2 a.m. So I guess Monday morning. I decided really early Monday morning that I was gonna buy a flight out to Ohio and spend most of June here. Now this is a poor business decision because I'm leaving all of my fancy streaming equipment. I'm leaving everything behind. For basically the majority of this month, when June is like the first month of the year that revenue for ads really starts to go up. So, forgive me for that. We're gonna be on Holly's PC for the next like 20 days, but I'm really glad I'm here. So there's that. So, before we get started, I need to hide my face, and you guys need to see this amazing intro for Malthael. Look at this. Oh my god! Oh my god! Now, I was reading about his kit, and I instantly thought that he would be a character that I liked. And I was on the Blizzard Anniversary stream yesterday. I didn't actually play him at all. I just watched other people play him, and I was like, well, he doesn't really look like he's doing much. I don't really get it. What's the point here? Team? I looked at his talents a little bit already. This is actually going to be a pretty short stream because his talents are actually pretty straightforward. There's not going to be very much theory crafting, actually. But this is a motherfucking Pallytime character, let me tell you. Fan-fucking-tastic. If you guys want to see some of his skins as well that he shipped with before we get started, I will go ahead. Skim right through them. We're trying some new settings on Holly's PC. So, this is the first test. Hopefully it goes well. I think it'll go fine. But before we get started, welcome to our Theorycrafting video for Malthael, which I hope I'm saying right. He has a weird name. My mouth doesn't naturally make those sounds. If you are not interested in looking at every single one of his talents, if you are not interested in knowing my thoughts of this hero in a very long, boring, drawn-out video, then stop watching. You have been warned. All right, team. So, this character is... look at this new art, by the way. This looks fantastic, too. This character is all about draining health from enemy players. The higher the health of the enemy player, the better off you are going to be. Here's his dance. It's pretty edgy. You want to see it again? Pretty eventful. Alright. And this is his taunt. He just points at things. So not a very expressive character, as you can clearly see here, but pretty fun nonetheless. His Q ability is called Soul Rip. Extract the souls of nearby enemies afflicted by Reaper's Mark, dealing 104 damage and healing Malthael for 46 per target hit. Heroic targets heal Malthael for an additional 3% of that hero's maximum health. So you're going to get more healing from characters like Arthas, high health heroes like Stitches, Cho'Gall, things like that, than you are from going up against a Murky. Murky's actually a pretty good counter to him, just for the record, just so everybody knows. Now, what is Reaper's Mark? Well, Reaper's Mark is his trait. Basic attacks Afflict non-structure targets with Reaper's Mark for 4 seconds. Marked enemies are revealed and take damage equal to 2.5% of their maximum health every 1 second. So, if we hit the target dummy, you can see we did an initial 122 damage, and now it's ticking away for 95 damage based off of its maximum health. And this is just damage that's going off over time. Now, obviously, this thing has like 200,000 HP, so that's a bit of an extreme example. But if we go ahead and just auto-attack Arthas over here, you can see he gets kind of like a Lunara poison going on, and now he's taking 65 damage every second for 4 seconds just because we attacked him. So very focused on killing off high health heroes, or at least more effective versus high health heroes, is how I see Malthael playing out. We're going to have to come up with a better name for him. We really, I can't say that. His W ability is called Waste Strike. And what that allows you to do is instantly teleport through an affected enemy, dealing 64 damage and refreshing the Reaper's Mark. So, anything in this range, we can just teleport to the other side of. Just like that. The damage it does as you go through a target, I think, is relatively inconsequential. What I think you're mostly going to be using this for is when you're trading into someone and they start to run away, you can be like, no, I'm going to stand right here and I'm going to body block you. And it's worth mentioning that you can position yourself in a way to actually body block that person. So when Arthas gets back, again, Arthas is a bad example because he's gonna be slowing me. But let's say he was running away, now he can sit here and we can body block him. So that's pretty cool. And his E ability is called Death Shroud. After 2.5 seconds, unleash a wave of dark mist that applies Reaper's Mark to enemies that it hits. Now, this is actually a relatively long skill shot, as you can see here. And this applies your trait, so you can teleport to any target that you hit with your E ability. But the problem is it's very slow. So if you're going in to gank a lane, you're going to have a really, like, you're going to have to lead that, and I think people are going to move out of it pretty easily, to be honest. I think people are going to get right the fuck out of it. But if you do land this ability, boom, you can jump right in and start to deal damage to this target, and it's pretty good. Now, I just want to show you the degree of healing that we're actually going to get here. So I'm going to turn Furion off. And I would actually like to go against maybe a Muradin? Something that isn't going to be slowing me all of the time. I think would be a little bit more conducive for showing off this character's strength. So, let's take some damage. Come on, boss, you won't. You won't do it. Don't kill me, though. Alright, cool. Thank you. Thank you, you're very helpful. So, this is the kind of self-healing you can expect off of one character and half a minion wave. Every 2 seconds. His lane sustain is actually fantastic. And we can just hit this whole minion wave. I think that's pretty amazing, personally. Now, keep in mind that your Q ability does not refresh your trait on targets. So you can only do that maybe 2 Q casts, but that's a lot of sustain. That's pretty amazing, actually. And keep in mind, I'm tanking the whole wave that whole time, too. Come here, little Muradin. Oh, we dodged the stun. We're gods. We won this game. Game over, man. So, if you know me at all, you know that I already love this kit. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Now, I've had the problem in the past where, going everywhere. I need to set up my stream deck so I can change scenes easier. I've had the problem in the past where I don't typically jump in and play new characters a ton. But this guy is, he's pretty damn fun, team. Now, as far as his heroic abilities go, let's go ahead and set ourselves to level 10, and we can take a look at those. At least he's pretty fun on paper. Again, I haven't actually played him in a game yet, because the queue time is like through the roof. All right, we have, first off, Tormented Souls. We gain 20 armor and unleash a torrent of souls, continually applying Reaper's Mark to nearby enemies for 4 seconds. This looks like this. As you can see, we do apply our trait to minions. You're doing great. You're doing real good. All right. All right, see you later. It has an 80-second cooldown, only lasts 4 seconds, but you are gaining 20 armor to both spells and auto attacks. So this is a 20% damage decrease to your character while you're doing that. And again, I just want to stress this. Let's go ahead and toggle off cooldowns for a second. If you are fighting in a minion wave, you're basically immortal. You can start off with that. You can go in, throw out a Q, throw out another Q, and then hit your ult. And just keep healing. And that fucking, the debuff stays active for another 2 seconds. Or another 4 seconds. So you could just keep that going. And then your E's off cooldown again, so you can start healing off people again. Like, it is a lot of healing in good situations like that. Think about trying to take over Infernal Shrines. Think about being in the middle of a Zerg wave. I should turn my face on. You need to see the excitement in my eyes. Think about being in the middle of a Zerg wave on Brax's Holdout. And just applying that to everything around you and being like, yeah, what's up? I'll heal through everything. You want to come at me, though? Pretty cool. I actually like his other heroic ability more, though. More than that. More than that, team. So let's go ahead and reset talents. Set ourselves to, we already are level 10. Dope. Last Rites. So this is a two-parter. We apply a death sentence to an enemy hero that after 2 seconds deals damage equal to 50% of their missing health. So against a Murky, you're going to do 300 damage. Against a Cho'Gall, you're going to deal like 4,000 damage. And in the second half, enemies killed while under the effect of Last Rites permanently reduce its cooldown by 5 seconds to a maximum of 15 seconds. This means that every minute, if every minute, you can essentially execute an enemy hero. So let's just start trading into Mirrodin here. They added in an effect that I really like for Malthael, and we just have to whittle this guy down for a minute. Come at me, bro. Come on, hit me. So, you'll know someone's in execute range when... Where is it? When you see that skull. Then we can apply our ability. He took 1,500 damage. And we got cooldown reduction because we killed the guy. It's pretty good. You guys are saying every 15 seconds. Does it actually... See, it says to a maximum of 15 seconds. I thought that just meant we would get 3 applications of the cooldown reduction. I mean, we can find out real easy. Complete quests. Toggle cooldowns. Toggle cooldowns. So, come here, Burden. Let's see what we got here. Oh my god, it is 50, it's 15. Well, fuck me. Oh. Team, I'm dyslexic, right? You gotta give me a break. To a minimum of 15 seconds. Enemies killed while under the effect of Last Rites permanently reduce its cooldown by 15 seconds to a minimum. Oh! It says minimum! You guys are right! That's bullshit. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I like that. I mean, realistically, you're probably only going to get, what, 2 off in a team fight? But still. I mean, that sounds good, but it's gonna take a long time to actually get that going, to be totally honest. Because that's what, 12 executes with that? And it starts out on a 75-second cooldown? I actually think that'll take a while to get going, but shit, once you get a little bit of CDR... Damn! Damn! Alright, so let's start taking a look at talents. See, this is why, by the way. This is why we always live stream these videos. Can I talk about that? Can I talk about that? Because I often will not read things correctly, and I need you guys to call me out on that. So we get actual information. You guys want me to look at the level 20s? I mean, I usually wait.
Choose a talent.
Oh, that's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. All right, so level 1. Increase Wraith Strike's range by 35%. Wraith Strike is your W ability. If we take this talent, your ability to jump to a target improves from this. You guys see it? Here, let's put it on the edge of the sippy cup. So from here to the other side of the sippy cup. I don't think it's that useful personally. I'm sure you can jump in and kill people with it, but do you really need a talent for that? Nah, I don't think so. At least first impressions, I don't think so. I mean, I could have done that without a talent, you know what I mean? Also, we have, on a pale horse, gain an additional 20% movement speed while mounted. Now, I think this one definitely has its place on bigger maps like Warhead Junction. Having 150% movement speed while you're on a mount means you can get to places very, very, very quickly. Which is cool. And it means you can essentially be in every team fight. Now, you may think that this is good for ganking, but I actually don't think he's going to be too much of a ganking character, just because of how slow his damage actually goes out prior to the level 10 upgrade if we go for that execute talent. So, by that point in the game, you know, by level 10, your team should be grouping for most things anyway, and I don't really think you're going to catch that many people out in a position to, like, just gank them. And it's not like he has a lot of lockdown either, so it's not like he's going to be jumping into lane and Kerrigan comboing your whole team or anything like that. But it does allow you to get out and move around the map a bit easier, so I think it's definitely worth considering at level 1. The talent I like the most, just for pure survivability, is activate to increase your movement speed by 25% and pass through other units for 4 seconds. So let's say the enemy team has an ETC, a Dahaka, a Diablo, a character, maybe even a Stitches. If you see one of those, the rare spawns. A character that's meant to pull you out of position and then body block you while you're out of position. This just hardcore counters it. And you also get the caveat of being able to just chase after kills a little bit easier, which makes me believe you don't really need the range increase of Wraith Strike. You can simply get this little bit of movement speed, move through units, and then jump after your target if they happen to be running away. Great stun there, Murden. You're doing it. You're doing it. Come here. Come here, give me that health. It's ridiculous. So, definitely my favorite talent at level 1. Fear the Reaper. Although on a pale horse, I think definitely has its place. Level 4, Die Alone. Soul Reap deals 75% more damage if it hits only one hero. And of course, Soul Rip is our Q ability. I mean, again, has its place in the early game. We go from healing for 170, or I guess dealing damage, excuse me. So we go from doing, what is that, 219? 140, no, 144 is the trait, so that's 219. We go from 219 to an additional 96 on top, so 384? I guess that's what it's saying. Alright, I mean, deals more damage for sure, but you're going to be incentivized to always be spreading around your trait as much as possible so you can heal for more in these team fights. So, I I feel like this is only good for the laning phase. And then you're going to get tired of it real quick. Like, it's actually going to not benefit you. The other talents in this tier, we have Throwing Shade. Hit 20 heroes with Death Shroud, which is our E ability, and permanently increase Death Shroud's range by 33% and reduce its cooldown by 2 seconds. It has an 8-second cooldown by default. Also, it has a pretty hefty mana range or mana cost. This is your most mana costly ability at 50. So I don't know if you would really want to throw this out all the time, but if we go ahead and look at the default range, you can see that it is basically to the end of the Fog of War. And if we complete our quests, it'll go a little bit past that. That talent may be worth using the Death's Reach on. That may kind of incentivize you to take that. But it doesn't increase the width of the ability, which I kind of feel like that's what it needs. Do you really... I don't know. I don't really see the point. There is a talent later on that may combo well with this. I'm just not getting it. I just don't really get it. The talent I like the most in this tier is the Black Harvest. Apply Reaper's Mark to heroes for a total of 150 seconds and permanently increase Reaper's Mark duration by 2 seconds. That means whenever we hit someone at all, it's going to start the timer. Kind of like how Lucio has that quest to increase the range of his circle of influence. This is basically the same thing. Whenever we have our debuff on an enemy hero, we're going to start to tick that timer. Every time you attack someone at all, you gain 4 seconds on the timer. And of course, this can be applied to multiple heroes. Let's say if you land your E and it hits them. It will take time to level up for sure. And the reason why I think this one is the most beneficial is because if we go ahead and complete the quest, having this damage tick over an additional 2 seconds just means you're dealing that 2.5% damage even longer. But on top of that, it also means that you can heal yourself off of a creep wave 3 times instead of 2 times on a single application of your E ability. So quite simply, it's just more survivability and more damage, and it's just better. I see it being vastly superior to these 2 options, but it will take time to build up for sure. But again, if you're going against Rexar, a Samuro, any kind of multi-hero character, you can get stacks off of this so easily. So easily. Level 7, Cold Hand. Soul Rip slows enemies for 20% for 2.5 seconds. Again, Soul Rip only has a 2-second cooldown. So essentially, this is a 20% slow that you can keep up all of the time. So definitely value there. Then we have Mortality. When damaging a hero, Wraith Strike deals bonus damage equal to 4% of the hero's maximum health. Wraith Strike is on a 5-second cooldown, and that's the one that allows us to teleport through targets. So essentially, if you're going against a Muradin and you want to be even more of a tank killer, you can just teleport right through them, deal that extra damage. I mean, 4% damage ends up being, what was that, 240? Something like that, somewhere in that ballpark, if you wanted to go down that route.
Choose a talent.
And then the last one we have is Touch of Death. Activate to reduce healing received by heroes afflicted by Reaper's Mark by 50% for 4 seconds. This will make Charism's life a living hell because keep in mind, its targets applied Reaper's Mark are applied to. So you can AoE a whole team down, especially if you go for Tormented Souls. So your initiate could look something like this. You just land your E ability, then you dive in with your W, hit this, and then all of a sudden, you reduced all of the healing that team is going to receive by how much? I already forgot how much it did. By 50%! Obviously, Better against AoE healers. Obviously, doesn't affect shields at all. Could completely negate an ancestral heal. Like, imagine you're a Rexar player and you see someone on your team about to die. All this guy has to do is hit a button when he sees the big green shaft of light. This was appropriate for shaft. When you see the big green light coming down from the sky, all of a sudden it does nothing. All of a sudden it's a chain heal. Fantastic talent in the right situation, but just get the slow. If you don't need to stop healing, just get the slow. And that's permanent crowd control. It's crowd control that doesn't fall off. Like, how could that not be good? All right, I'm gonna hide again. So these two abilities, the Touch of Death along with the Tormented Souls, combo so well together, fantastically well together. I just wanted to make that clear for a second. But again, if they don't have a high health healer or a high healing output, then it's whatever. Choose a talent. This is good and slow. Choose a talent. I do like Last Rites more. It is by far my favorite out of the two. Although I do think Tormented Souls is going to have its place. Tormented Souls allows you to basically not die. And keep in mind, with the quest application, Tormented Souls, we're going to be able to heal for much longer. So these two talents do have synergy as well. But we're going to go for Last Rites. Now, this is why I was saying that his talents are pretty straightforward, and this won't be a very long theory crafting video. Because, well, this is just a defensive tree. Increase the healing bonus of Soul Rip to 4% of the target's maximum health. It's at 3%, so you get 1% more healing. Better against high health heroes than it is against anything else. Also has direct synergy with Black Harvest, so you can increase the duration and heal for more. Then you have Ethereal Existence. Gain 15 armor per enemy hero afflicted by Reaper's Mark to a maximum of 45. So if you affect 3 heroes with Reaper's Mark, all of a sudden you take 45% less physical damage. Obviously, you would want to do this versus melee assassins, auto attack heroes, things like that. But has direct synergy with Tormented Souls. And of course, direct synergy with Black Harvest. Inevitable End is a self-cleanse. Activate to become unstoppable for 2 seconds. I did want to do a little bit of testing with this really quick. I wanted to see if you could activate it while you're stunned. So let's find out. No, so you'd have to... So this is more for like countering roots? No, don't... Yeah, don't heal. Don't heal, Muradin. Let me kill you. So, can't use it while you're stunned. You gotta see the stun coming, which obviously... It's like it's a self cleanse. That's what it is. So if you see a Kerrigan combo coming in, if you see an ETC looking for a mosh pit, and you could time it properly, there you go, self-cleanse. Now it does remove all of your Reaper's Marks, but considering how fast you can just apply them again, I don't really think that's too big of a deal to keep yourself out of a stun. I mean, it's pretty good. And then after 2 seconds, gain 50 spell armor. After 2 seconds? What? Why is there a delay on that?
Choose a talent.
Why?
Choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
After 2 These other ones don't have delays. So, and the last but not least, after 2 seconds, gain a spell shield. Why is there a delay on that, though, for real? Generally speaking, as far as spell shields go, that's pretty weak because you have to manually activate it, and most spell shields are passive. It's on a 30-second cooldown. That is by far the weakest of all of the survivability talents, in my humble opinion, even though it is the highest percentage. Yeah, it's kind of weird how they implemented that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Choose a talent.
So I mean, the two obvious ones for me are usually physical armor and inevitable, and the increased healing will only benefit you from heroes. So it's not like it increases your sustain versus like if you're going in and trying to heal off of a minion wave or anything like that. But I mean, this definitely has its place. 4 seconds is a long time. But you can essentially keep this up. Keep in mind, that's 4 seconds of spell shield. You can keep this up for, like, I would say 16 seconds. I don't know. I don't know, team.
Choose a talent.
So level 16, we have the Soul Collector. Reduces Soul Rip cooldown by 0.5 seconds and increases its range by 50%. Just makes the ability better in every way. Instead of a 2-second cooldown, it's going to be a 1.5 second cooldown, and you're going to be able to heal off of more targets, assuming that they have your trait applied to them. See, I mean, that kind of stuff, it's just pretty straightforward. There's no testing involved with that. Massacre. Wraith Strike now damages and applies Reaper's Mark to enemies around it. I love this talent. This talent is amazing. Now, Wraith Strike has a 5-second cooldown, so you can use it a lot. And essentially, let's instantly apply your trait to everything in the lane. Heal off of it, no problem. Has direct synergy with the armor. If you jump into a team fight, all of a sudden you have like, hey, look at me. I have 45% more damage mitigation from your auto attacks, and you're all screwed. By the way, I'm also healing off of you like a motherfucker. Like, this talent is awesome. Really, really good. And then Reaper's Mark deals 100% increased damage after afflicting an enemy for more than 4 seconds. That is the one I like the most in the tree, because at even a base value with the build that we've been going, keep in mind our Black Harvest, with this talent, our Reaper's Mark is going to last for 6 seconds once we complete the quest. This simply means that on your last 2 ticks, you're just going to deal more damage.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Here, look. 208, 208. There's going to be 2 more applications, and now we're dealing critical damage. You don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to do anything. You just attack something 1 time. Muradin, run away. Like, it's just free damage. A lot of free damage. Come here. Like, it's actually bullshit.
That was rather entertaining.
It's really stupid. I have a feeling this is going to get nerfed really bad. And keep in mind, there's no stipulation that this has to be on a single target. You can apply this to a whole team if you go for Tormented Souls. Which is insane! Oh, that's really good. That's really good. That's amazing, actually. Come here. Fight me.
That was rather entertaining.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. This one's cool too, though. I like Massacre a lot. And then at level 20, if you go for the Last Rites heroic ability, you then can pick up Angel of Death. Last Rites heals for 100% of the damage dealt. And its current and future cooldown reduction bonus is doubled. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's just go ahead and complete our quest. Hey buddy, how are you? Can you deal some damage to me? I'll just take some damage from these minions for a minute. No big deal. Oh, cooldowns. Come here. Come here, Muradin. Muradin. Muradin, come back. No, don't kill me, though. Oh, no, we're gonna die to a bot! Never mind. This doesn't have a cooldown. It just doesn't have a cooldown. It's a fucking 5-second cooldown. That's not okay. That's not okay. How much damage can we do to this thing? Oh my god. Now that is a gigantic... Look how much mana that thing takes up. It's 100 mana every cast. So while it may have a minuscule cooldown, you can't sustain actually doing that over 40 fucking thousand damage we just did. You can't sustain doing that over a long period. But you could totally win a team fight if you walk in at full health and full mana. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Choose a talent.
Just amazing. What was I taking at this? Yeah. Tormented Souls, Ethereal Existence, this one. If you went for the Tormented Souls heroic ability, then at level 20 you get Reaper of Souls. While Tormented Souls is active, Hero Takedowns extends its duration by 4 seconds. Which is good, but it's not like he has a bunch of burst damage on his own without the execute. So that kind of means that you need to be looking to use this as the enemy team is getting whittled down a little bit. Its duration by default is 4 seconds, so it gets its duration doubled if you can get an execute while this is going on. In the right situation, it will be fantastic. But that, quite simply, is going to be harder to set up than just using Angel of Death. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. We have Final Curtain. Death Shroud leaves a trail in its wake for 4 seconds, applying Reaper's Mark to enemies in the area. Seems weird. You can combo this ability with the increased range early on in the talent kit. Yeah, at level 4. So, I mean, you just leave this on the ground. Who cares? Look out, Muradin. I'm gonna apply my trait to you when you realize you're tanking a tower. I missed. Like, it's not like this does damage over time or anything. It's just like, if someone walks back into that, they'll get the trait on them. It doesn't even reapply the... Oh, no, it doesn't even reapply the trait. Yeah, I don't get it. Seems extremely underwhelming. Extremely underwhelming. Walk into it. Bye, Muradin. I mean, it does reapply? Let's see. Let's see. So we get... Oh, maybe it does reapply. I think you're right. Yeah, okay. It does reapply. 100%. You guys are right. I still thought we had the increased duration, so I was expecting it to last for 6 seconds. We don't have the increased duration yet because we didn't complete the quest. So, okay. Yeah, that's not bad then. Since it's reapplying. So, if you get the complete quests, if we get the increased duration, our trait should stay on this guy long enough to cast the fucking ability again. I see. Okay. Honestly, That feels a lot like his heroic ability, except this gives armor, and you get it at level 10 instead of 20. I don't know if I would pick both. I don't know, I'm kind of conflicted now. I'm a little conflicted. Look at that. If you just keep hitting a different target. That's kind of cool. Do we do percentage-based damage to bosses? Oh my god, we do. I still can't solo the boss, though. And if we get the increased... Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. That's only hero healing. Okay. So... better than I initially thought. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one. I just feel like... So... I just feel like if you don't hit them originally, like that's the only situation I think it'll be really good in. It's when you miss your skill shot and the target's running away already. Like if you're in a situation like this where they're going to be running backwards, you throw this out, I really only think you're going to get maybe one extra dot tick. But then again, one extra dot tick versus Muradin is 300 fucking damage. So I don't know. I don't know, team. We'll have to think about it. And then the other talent that you have access to at level 20 is going to be a res. So if you decide that you want to be alive and you're not alive, activate while dead to immediately respawn at the altar, but increase Malthael's next respawn time by 25%. Pretty straightforward. Seems really all-in-y. Keep in mind, by the time you're level 20, you're already looking at minute respawn times. So if you die for a minute and a half on your next respawn time, if you have a 90 fucking second, I mean, it said 25%, so it wouldn't be 90 seconds. I'm exaggerating, but it's taking you out of the game for a long time. That's my main concern. I don't think it seems like it's good. But you get it so late in the game that I feel like if you die again, you're probably going to lose the game. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So, if we want to take a look at potential talent builds to try out. I mean, to me, it seems pretty clear. Maybe you guys can let me know if you agree with me. At level 1, I never want to be body blocked by anything, so Fear the Reaper is the way to go. And you can use this... No, you can't use it while mounted, so you don't get that mount speed. The mount movement speed definitely has its place on large maps, but I don't see too much gank squadness going on, at least early on, so Fear the Reaper is what I would go for. Black Harvest, I think, is fantastic. It makes everything in his kit better. It makes everything that he does better. He gets more healing in team fights. His E ability provides more of a dot timer on enemy heroes. And he potentially could teleport to a target twice before the buff goes away. I say potentially as in you teleport and then they gap close away from you. You can teleport again with that shit still on cooldown. Or with the dot still going after you build it up. It's simply a time investment, and you need to make sure that you're always applying your dot to someone. That's going to be the hardest thing to do there. At level 7, Touch of Death versus heroes that you know are going to be healing a lot. If you're in quick match and they don't have a healer, I mean, this will reduce the healing, like, let's say, of Twin Blades Varian. It'll reduce the healing of the Butcher, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a support that you're using this against. But Ancestral Healing was the obvious vertical that I drew. Pick up Touch of Death. If you just want to have permanent crowd control out on a target, then take up Soul Rip. And all of a sudden, the enemy team is going to be permanently slowed. Keep in mind, Soul Rip applies to everything that has your trait on it. So let's say you land your E ability. You can essentially slow an entire team all of the time. all of the time. Then, at level 10, Last Rite seems like the obvious winner for me. But Tormented Souls does gain increased survivability, applies your trait to everything in the area, has perfect synergy with Black Harvest, perfect synergy with Cold Hand, and generally speaking, I think is going to be pretty good. But Last Rites is an Execute. So I'm going to take the Execute. Thank you. At level 13, you pick whatever talent will stop the most threatening thing on the enemy team. You either get physical armor, a spell shield that's really weird, you can increase your healing if you want to go down that road, or you can get the self-cleanse, let's say if they have a Kerrigan, or they have a Butcher that's charging after you. All of a sudden, you can just walk away from shit like that. So completely situational, do whatever you want to do here. They all make sense in the right scenario. Then, I really like Memento Mori. I don't think I ever said the name of that talent. Deal 100% increased damage after afflicting enemy for more than 4 seconds. Has perfect synergy with Black Harvest because you just get free critical hit damage once your quest is completed. And if you apply this to multiple heroes, you're dealing damage to all of them with that shit. It's amazing. And it's so easy to just reapply your trait. Even if you don't go for Black Harvest, even if the quest isn't done yet, all you have to do is auto-attack a hero again within that window, and you're going to be getting that critical damage based on the target's maximum health. If the enemy team has a Murky, maybe don't go for that. It won't get as much value, is what I'm saying. If you want to just increase your overall healing, you could just go for Massacre, which has great synergy with Black Harvest as well. And every time you teleport in, you're going to be applying your trait to everything in the area, which means you can heal for more, and which means you can slow everything in that area with the Cold Hands talent at level 7. So interchangeable, although I like Memento Mori a little bit more. And then at level 20, I would recommend that... well, if you went for Last Rites, you get Angel of Death, because it's just better. It just makes what you're doing already better. If you went for Reaper of Souls, I would have to recommend either, or if you went for Tormented Souls, I would recommend either Reaper of Souls or Final Curtain, just to keep with the thing. Keep with the theme of having your trait applied to everything around you all of the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's theory crafting video. I'm really excited about this character. I could see this being one of those characters that I jump in and play a lot. I think it's going to be pretty exciting to watch too. I mean, me personally. I've never had a Muradin chase me over here. What are you doing? All right.
Hey!
Good fight.
Thank you.
Is it gonna read it? No, not gonna read it. Hey, Pally, get a burrito or two on me. I don't know what they go for in the US of A. Well, thank you. Thank you for the donation. Noza Joza. I appreciate it. So once again, I'm gonna be in Ohio for the next 20 days or so. It's a little scary because I left my home studio during the first month of the year that ad revenue actually starts increasing, but I am going to be streaming most days. We'll figure out something to do on the weekends. And I appreciate your guys' support. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and we will be taking a look at some more Malthael. Right, I'm saying it right? We're going to be taking a look at some gameplay, probably tomorrow. I'll get in a custom game lobby with you guys, and we'll jump in and have a good time. Again, I'm incredibly optimistic about this hero. Incredibly optimistic. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll be back in Heroes. Actually later today if you go to the Squadron channel. But on this channel tomorrow. Thank you, Gargoyle987, because 986 was taken for sponsoring. I appreciate the support. Enjoy your top hat. Okay, bye.